Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. There's a situation that's, I guess, becoming more aware, and it's quite serious, and that's why I thought this would be a good topic for us. Sibling sexual abuse. Our guest is Risa Shaw. Risa, welcome to Late Night Health.
Mark, thank you very much. Thank you for having me, and thank you for bringing this book and this topic to the public, which is what we really want to do so we can have prevention and healing. And
the name of the book is?
Not Child's Play, an anthology on brother-sister incest, and this is the second edition.
And this happened to you?
It happened to me. I'm a survivor of brother-sister incest.
How do you think that's affected your life in general? And at what age did this happen?
It happened when I was 12, and it wasn't a one-time thing. It was over a period of time. So I was pre-teenager, and it's affected my life in all kinds of ways. It's affected my life in terms of how I feel about myself, confidence, trust, self-trust, whether or not I feel worthy or not. It's affected my life in terms of health. There are times when, I don't want to see a certain doctor. I don't want to have a certain condition dealt with because of trauma that has happened in the past. It's affected my life in terms of intimate and sexual relationships because it was sexual abuse. It's affected my life in terms of relationships with people in general, and just having trauma responses to things that are not intended in any way, but that it hit something in me that bring out a response that might not be in that context, if that makes any sense to you.
Sure. You're 12 years old. You're a kid. You're a child. Of course,
yep.
I think that people are kids until they're 40, but did you tell anybody? Did you tell your parents?
I did not tell my parents until I was 24, and I did not tell anyone else until I was 19. Part of that was because of the amount of shame and of feeling complicit, and feeling like I did something to bring this on, which in reality, nothing is farther from the truth. I didn't do anything to bring the sexual abuse on, and no one who has been victimized brings that on. There's just nothing farther from the truth. And because of the shame and the self-blame, and I thought that I would get in trouble if I told anybody, I didn't tell anybody until, like I said, when I was 19, I finally told an acquaintance. It took a long time, like a couple of months, for me to actually be able to choke out the words. And then I did see a therapist sometime in my early 20s, and that led to me feeling like if I was going to go home and be with my family, I had to tell them. Otherwise, I couldn't be around them.
Can you be with your family today?
Yeah.
With family members? What about your brother?
I am with family members in different ways. And part of what this kind of abuse does is it damages everybody in the family. And it damages the person who harms, it damages the other kids in the family, and it damages the parents as well as the one who was sexually abused. And part of the reason for getting this book out again and getting to talk to people like you is to get it into the public discourse, get awareness about the fact that it's happening so that we can stop other kids from having to go through this, and so that more and more survivors, as well as other family members, including the perpetrators, can start to really deal with this in meaningful ways.
Do you think that it's always been there, but people like you held it in for years and just never talk about it and forget about it? That as the victim, because that's what you were, you are. You're embarrassed, you're shamed that it happened, that you you don't want to be accused of it's your fault, you did it. Is there any truth to what I just said?
I mean, there's truth to all of the shame and um, embarrassment and not wanting to talk about it because you feel like you're going to get blamed, but it's not the victim's fault. There is not 1 ounce of truth to that kind of statement.
The therapy. I've talked to many therapists over the years, and they say almost everybody needs therapy, including therapists. Is that something that you would recommend for families to go through in the case that there was sibling sexual abuse?
Yeah. Yes, I would. And I recommend therapy to anybody as well. And it certainly is one of the things that has gotten me through life over the past 50 plus years. I think that when a family finds out, when parents find out that a brother is abusing a sister, and let me just say something, Mark. I want to say something about language, and I also want to say something about who gets harmed and who harms. There are boys who are also victimized by other boys, by men, by some women and girls. Anything I say is not with the intent to minimize or dismiss the boys who have been victimized. This is real, it happens, and it is just as bad for them as it is for girls. And I center girls and women in my book and in much of my work because all of this happens in the context of this society we live in, which values males over females and which teaches males how to have power over females. The other thing I'll say is there's no good terms for this. So I don't want people to get caught up on, well, is it sexual abuse? Is it sexual assault? Is it sibling or brother sister? It doesn't matter. It's all a violation by one child to another child in a family with a sexual violation with betrayal, and it's lifelong trauma.
And we're doing this interview. I believe it's International Women's Month or Week.
On the 8th, yes.
On the 8th day.
Let's make it the year. Let's
make it the year of the women. Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned your work. Is this your work? Is this what you do?
So this is what I've done on the side since the mid 80s. My professional work was as a professor of interpreting, translating, and linguistics, sociolinguistics. And also I'm an activist, and I'm retired from teaching full time. I still interpret some. And because I've been able to retire from those jobs, I was able to spend time and get the second edition out.
You're too young to retire. Go back to work.
I'm not sure I'm any younger than you there.
I'll bet you are. The name of the book is Not Child's Play, and it's an anthology, collection of stories that our guest Risa Shaw has put together to help other families and victims. And I think it's just, I'm the oldest of three, and I have two younger sisters, and I just can't imagine in any way, shape, or form. And somebody told me recently that I let them push me around. So not in a sexual way, but and we should talk about that because it is about power. All right, we're going to take some time out. Our guest, the author of Not Child's Play, and her name is Risa Shaw. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Be sure to join us at latenighthealth.com. That's latenighthealth.com. We'll have a way for you to get in touch with Risa if you need some help, as well as a way to get hold of her book. We'll be back just a couple moments. Don't go away. Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment.
Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com.
If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.
It's time to tackle a tough topic, one that affects us all. We're talking about sexism in the workplace. The award-winning Identifying the Elephant in the Room series is back and ready to tackle some complicated communications issues again. This spring, we're focusing on critical communication strategies in the face of sexism. Join us as we hear from professionals in the natural products industry who have valuable career lessons to share and real-world experience to discuss from all sides of the elephant. It's time to have an honest and open conversation about the impact of sexism in the workplace and how we can make it better for everyone. Identifying the Elephant in the Room series starts March 16th. Register today at inicibox.vfairs.com. That's INICIBOX.VFAIRS.com and join the conversation to be part of the solution. Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. This is a very serious topic, sexual abuse between siblings. Is this all about, and our guest, I should say, is Risa Shaw. Risa, is this all about power? I mean, from what I've read, from what I've heard from the experts I've talked to over the years, that sexual abuse is not about sex. Sex is beautiful. It's intimate. It can be lovely. It can be bad. It can be good, but it's still intimacy. This is not intimate. This is power, isn't it?
It is. It's about power, but it's also about sex in using sex as a tool to gain something. Can I say that again?
Sure.
Okay. It is about power. There's no question about that. And it's also about sex, Mark, because it's using sex as a tool to use power over someone else. And so the tool of betrayal is not only, first of all, in this case, it's your brother and a peer and probably someone you trusted and were close to and are expected to remain close to, but it's also about using our bodies. It puts us in an adversarial relationship to our bodies because we feel like our bodies betrayed us. And our bodies didn't betray us. Our brothers betrayed us, but they used our bodies against us. And that affects how we not only see ourselves, but also how we then care for our bodies and ourselves throughout the rest of our lives. And so this is a health program. And specifically, there are health ramifications. If I can give you a couple of examples.
Sure.
A good friend of mine doesn't want to go to the dentist, doesn't get dental care on a regular basis because it is such a traumatic experience to go to the dentist and have dental work because of what her brother did to her. Another friend of mine, when she was in her late 40s, she asked me to go to a doctor's visit with her. And this is a doctor's visit that she had been putting off for 10 years. And she had been putting it off for 10 years because of the effects of the trauma. Both of these are survivors of brother-sister incest, both of these people. And she finally went to the doctor for the reason that she needed to be there. And she had me come with her. And that was part of the reason that she could actually get this health concern addressed, but it took 10 years.
Is there a way to prevent this? I mean, parents need to be aware, don't they?
Yes, I think that there are ways to prevent it. And I think that, one, parents need to have this in the forefront of their minds as a possibility. I think that they need to know that this is happening. It happens across economic, class, race, geography, ability, education levels. And I think that they have to really think about the fact that if they're looking away, if they're dismissing the possibility, if they're saying, well, boys will be boys, if they're not attending to changes in behaviors of their kids, that they're really doing their kids a disservice and they are contributing to possible harm. And so
it's got to be a criminal activity.
It is. I don't know if it's on any criminal, in any statutes, but it's criminal.
Are there more enlightened men today, do you think?
I hope so. I hope that we are raising boys in a way that they would not only never consider doing this, but that they would also watch out for it and teach their own kids. And when I say their own kids, it could be the kids in the neighborhood. It could be their nieces and nephews, to also make sure that the power imbalances that are inherent in our society don't get carried on in our families.
As we're talking, I'm thinking there's got to be a way of a catharsis of saying, okay, it happened. I have to get along with my life. Would an apology help? Would from a perpetrator to say, I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing. I was a kid. Whatever it is, would that help or not?
It's a great question, and it's a great place to start. And an apology will never hurt. And it's also a single act, and it's not the end of the road. So an apology can be part of acknowledgement, and that acknowledgement then needs to also lead to ownership and accountability. And the perpetrator then needs to take responsibility for what they did. And they may have been a kid, but they caused harm, and that harm is an ongoing harm. And they also are in that position in large part because of harm that was probably caused to them, but they need to take responsibility for harm that they caused. And then they also need to, that's not enough. That's not the end. They also need to get to a place, I believe, where they can speak out about it and that they can get past their own shame so that they can make a difference in other people's lives. So apology is good. It's a step. It's not the end of the road. And accountability can mean all kinds of things, but it's taking that responsibility and then figuring out how to make repair with the survivor if the survivor wants to have repair made for them.
I mean, this is, to me, it's a mind-blowing situation. How a brother who's supposed to protect their younger sisters, and it's generally an older brother to a younger sister.
Generally.
What about the other way around, a younger brother to a older sister?
Generally, it's an older brother to a younger sister. I know of situations where it's an older brother to a younger brother. And I know of one situation where it was an older sister to a younger brother. Again, we're talking about this in the context of the way males are treated in our society. And so that's why it is in large part males sexually abusing younger females and sometimes younger males.
And it would seem to me that the boys who become men who have been perpetrators potentially could do this to women in the community.
It's definitely a potential. And I think that even if they never sexually abuse anyone again, you can see it come out in relationships and behaviors, whether it's with coworkers or family members or friends, that sense of I am more worthy, I have more power, I need to exercise my power, that can come out in a multitude of ways. And that's not good for them either.
Are there any signs that indicate that a girl has been sexually abused by a brother? I mean, I would think, somebody who's bright and bubbly and outgoing becomes withdrawn. That would be one thing that I would hopefully notice.
Yeah.
Other signs?
Yes, I think there are all sorts of behaviors to watch for. And the withdrawal is one. Changes in behavior overall, angry, they might show up as angry outbursts, recklessness, rebelliousness, distance between siblings where there hadn't been distance before, or fighting between them. It can show up in overachieving. It can show up in not stopping talking. I mean, so it really can show up in a multitude of ways. And
I have to interrupt, say that we're out of time. The book is called Not Child's Play by Risa Shaw. Risa, thank you very much for sharing your story with us. We really appreciate that. And look forward to the next edition, because this is edition number 2. I'm Mark Alyn. Daryl, thank you very much for everything you do.
My pleasure.
And thank you at home for listening. Have a great week, everybody. Most importantly, have a healthy week. See you next time.